Hello, this is Mac from Southern Blooms, Florida Plant Nursery here in Dover, Florida. Today we're going to continue our educational series on the topic of cultivars versus wild Plumeria and Noids. The question we're asked the most when we do plant shows is, why isn't my Plumeria blooming? So we continue to ask questions about that. Where did you buy it? What's the name of your Plumeria? And a lot of folks don't know. The first thing they'll say is it's a pink or a red, which is all good. But we want to find out if it's a cultivated Plumeria versus a wild Plumeria. The difference is that a cultivated Plumeria is one that has been grown throughout the ages. You can identify it mostly by a prolific flowering petal type, color, even foliage. Those are going to bloom for you continuously almost every year. And we ask them that, and most folks say, well, I just had this cutting given to me. Or they buy one from a show and it just says pink, or it's painted pink or red on the cutting itself. And we also ask them, is it in sun or shade? So even if it is non-named cultivar, which is known as a Noid, which just means no identification, it may not bloom if it's not placed in full sun. Knowing all those answers to those questions kind of helps us determine if they've got a good cultivar or they've just got a wild Plumeria or what we call a Noid. Noids can bloom and do really well. Wild Plumeria typically don't, and that's probably about 70% of what we find in talking with customers of the show, is that their Plumerias are in full sun, they're getting well-drained soil, they've been fertilized, yet 3 or 4 years and they haven't bloomed. The problem with that is there's a lot of wild Plumeria that's grown in South America and in Mexico that ship to the States, and those are wild Plumeria that are sometimes grown from seedlings and cuttings and that usually never will bloom. So that's why we really push folks to buy named cultivars. Like here at Southern Blooms, we carry a number, about 85 different varieties of named cultivars, such as Confetti, Taj Mahal, Cancun Pink, Mexican Yellow. There's a bunch of different varieties that have those names with them that's attributed to that flower. So if you see that certain flower, you'll go, oh, right away. The flower color, the flower shape, and the smell will tell you it's that named cultivar. Sometimes it's fun to grow a Plumeria from a seed, but seedlings typically only bloom after about 3 to 4 years, and only about 20% do bloom. And sometimes you'll get a cool new Plumeria that's a hybridized Plumeria, but majority of the time they don't bloom. So we also have a lot of folks who have probably bought seedlings that won't bloom for them. Now we do grow seedlings here at Southern Blooms. We do it from our named cultivars. Now, also, a seedling may not stay true to the parent, so what we do here is make sure that they continuously bloom that certain type. And a lot of people ask us to identify their Plumeria, and we'd be more than happy to do that. If you wanted to come in to our nursery here at Southern Blooms, you can email us, call us, text us. We're open by appointment only, but we would be more than happy to meet you and hopefully try to identify that Plumeria that you have.